Now, let's think why you're here. Why are you going to this social event? Well, your brain tells you. Well, I want to meet people. I want to reciprocate. I want to be nice and charming. I want to make contacts. I want to expand my world. That's what the smart you is telling you. But what is your body? What is your hypothalamus? What is your alligator brain telling you? It's telling you to fight and flee, wrestle the person to the ground, rip their throat out, and get their wallet. You are an animal. You have this, catecholamines and blood sugar and adrenaline. So my golly, what do? Well, your body's telling you to fight and flee, but it's also telling you to freeze. It's telling you to be cool, which is the wrong way to be. Because your intelligence, your personality, your charm, your verve is not cool. It's active. It's alive. And what's fascinating, when you graduate from DePaul University with all of your knowledge and you have your diploma and your credentials, and you interview, do you know why old people like you so much? It's because you're beautiful. You are gorgeous to us. Your face, your energy, gravity hasn't begun to suck your face down to the ground. And I realize you look at each other and you look at yourself and you go, oh, no, I'm not. No, you ought to see my sister. You don't see yourselves as beautiful. We old people do. We see, and it's not just your physical continence. It's your energy. It's your life. Now, we have some MBA candidates with us tonight, more senior folks. And you can tell because they've come in second place. They've won the green ribbon. They wear green ribbons on the badges. Notice how tired they look. They've been working 8 hours today. They just flew in from LA. They're up with their kid all night long. That's what you're going to look like in a few years. Sorry, guys. Yeah, still, It's this youth. And this youth is betrayed by energy. Show your energy. Show your passion. Show your enthusiasm. Don't freeze. Your body's telling you to freeze. Fight it. Just a little nature study here. There's an insect in that picture? Can you spot him? Have you seen this one? This is just absolutely gorgeous. There's a thing called a dead leaf butterfly. Now, dead leaf butterflies are real tasty. Any animal that eats insects goes crazy for a dead leaf butterfly. It's fabulous. So to protect itself, it's formed a natural coloration that it hides from its predators by appearing to be like anything else on the forest floor, a dead leaf. And there he is right there. Isn't that extraordinary? And when he's threatened, he shows this side, this dull, dead side. All right? There's a close-up of the dead leaf butterfly. And here's the weird thing about it. And this is why I think about dead leaf butterflies and you guys. This is the underside of the dead leaf butterfly's wings. From nothing to one of the most beautiful things. Look at the iridescent colors there. That's the side of the dead leaf butterfly that draws. And that's you too. You show yourself, you show your energy, and people are drawn to you. You try to act cool, and you're just like a dead leaf. Yeah, Because what you are is you're pure radiant energy. You're this white light. You have this energy. Use it. Let it go. Because the British will tell you, British psychologists created this thing. They say if you have talent and energy, like you've got it, if you've got talent and you use your energy, you can be king. You can have anything that you want. On the other hand, if you just have talent and no energy, not so much. And what about these poor folks that have no talent and no energy? Sad but true. So the problem I'm concerned about as you guys do this is you try to act so cool, it's going to keep the fear high, it makes you look unreal. You want to use the energy. Tell people how excited you are. Walk up to what an exciting event, what an exciting day, I'm excited to meet you. Did you see that demonstration? How exciting was that? Use the word exciting. Older people like young people to be excited. They like you to be impressed by us. Show it. Be excited. Be excited with whom you're speaking. And you want to have that feeling. You want to use positive visualization. Before you network, before you walk in the room, you want to take this huge energy that is surging through you and focus it into something positive. And you want to visualize someone who loves you. All right? Do this with me right now. What I'd like you to do is shut your eyes, and I want you to picture the face of someone that loves you. Someone that really, they get you, they are crazy about you. And as you see their face, they're digging your chili. They're just loving you. And when it becomes vivid, when you can really, really see them, notice how it makes you feel. Notice that warmth, that good. That's how you want to feel when you're meeting people. You want to project that good, that love, that warmth in your handshake. And when you're talking with them, it moves the world. That's what you want to do. When you're ready, open your eyes and come back to me. Some of the stuff that helps, you want to find something about the other person that you like. You like their eyes, you like their glasses, you like their tie, you like the earrings they're wearing, you like the fact they're talking to a young person, you like the fact they work at something that gives you the feeling of like, project liking. That energy is just going to cause you to soar. Because see, I know you can do all this stuff. Everything we've been talking about, everything you've learned in effective business communication, but the kicker is will you try. I know you can. I know you can do all this stuff. You can do the Kennedy eyes and shake hands the right way, positive visualization. You can ask questions. You can reciprocate. You can do this stuff. But the question is, you're going to try, because it's hard. It takes character. Because now you got to be outstanding. All of a sudden, you're going to discover people are looking at you in a new way. And it may not be all that comfortable. It's good. It's opportunity. It's wealth on its way to you, but it may not be that comfortable. So you need a little help. You need a little strength that's beyond you. And I'm the same way. I get discouraged, I get tired, I'm old as hell. I make the mistake every once in a while of looking in a mirror. Oh my God, you ought to see what I see when I look in a mirror. It's death. I look like death. So I just don't look in mirrors anymore. I look at you guys and I feel much better. So how do I find myself looking like death but yet walking into a room full of people? Well, my inspiration comes from this woman right here. Do you guys know who that is? Call her name out if you know who she is. Good for you. Yeah, Eleanor Roosevelt. Extraordinary woman. She and her husband led this nation through 4 terms of the presidency through a depression that makes our current recession look like nothing. You realize unemployment was 30% in the Great Depression? 30%. And people were dying, literally starving to death in the United States. And at the same time, we're fighting a war in 2 great theaters in Europe and in Asia. Oh my God, and she led us through that. She had a newspaper column that was read by readers of 225 newspapers. She's talking on the radio here, an incredibly gifted leader. Wrote the first human rights planks in the United Nations, but yet she was extremely shy. The more you know about her, the more you realize how courageous she was. She was born in a wealthy family. Her uncle was Teddy Roosevelt, the president, right? They were old Knickerbocker, New York Roosevelts. They had old sacks of money they'd never used just lying around, right? And she grew up with ponies and hugs, and her girlhood was just wonderful. And then at age 4, her mom dies suddenly. Her father, who's deeply in love with the mother, freaks out, flies, at the time, took a boat to Switzerland, and he drank himself to death in a year. So here she is, 5 years old, orphaned. And they send her to live, bless her heart, with her grandmother, who was a Victorian piece of work who treated her like she was property. Now, to get who she was, back in the late 1800s, when she was a girl, the only value rich society women had was to bear children and to be a charming hostess at her husband's parties. That was it. That's all they did. The servants did everything else. Okay? And she felt awkward and gawky. She felt like she was ugly. Well, okay, there's some evidence there. Maybe you might say she was. And yet somehow she became Eleanor Roosevelt. She survived these years and years of negative messages and the painful shyness. And those of us who are shy know what it is. So I read her autobiography, okay, and this paragraph popped out. And I'd like to share, oh, even better. Here's a little story for you. This is really cool. Forgot about this one. Okay, this is great. World War II, right? We are Fortress America. We are building hundreds of thousands of bombers, literally. And you think about the miles of wire in every aircraft. We have, the incredible ability to create material for war, right? You know what we didn't have? We didn't have people to fly the airplanes. We did not have enough men to fly airplanes, right? But yet there was legions of highly skilled, highly intelligent engineers and attorneys who were ready to volunteer to fly the airplanes, but we wouldn't let them. And you know why? Wait for it, they were African American. And the traditional knowledge at the time in the 1940s, dictated by Ivy League professors, was that an African American's brain pan does not have enough capacity to have the intelligence to blah, 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 blah. And they believed that. Well, finally, brighter minds in Congress got a training squadron established at Tuskegee University, and a squadron was trained, but they wouldn't let them fly. They wouldn't let them go into combat. They were trained, ready to go, couldn't get them into combat. No one wanted to fly with a black flyer. Okay? Eleanor Roosevelt heard about this. She was outraged. So you know what she did? She got the Washington Press Corps gathered together on a train, and they went down to Tuskegee, Alabama, and she went flying with Captain Campbell. First Lady of the United States is flown around the airfield by an African-American pilot. Okay, now here's the thing. Can you take a real close look at her face? Can you see that? How she was scared to death. Frightened of flying, shy, painful, but she wouldn't let him see it because she knew the moment she showed any kind of fear at all, it would be all over. She had to maintain the strain. She had to fake it because it was so important. Well, the good news is, off they go. Well, obviously, if an African-American can fly the First Lady of the United States, we can entrust them in combat, so off they go. Here they are in North Africa. They became the famous Red-Tailed Squadron, that vertical empennage, right, the vertical stabilizers, red. And then they got some combat opportunities flying bomber escort over Germany. And at first, of course, no one wants an African-American to escort the bombers, you know. Well, after a while, the combat record began to show they did not lose a single bomber to enemy aircraft during the entire war. They were the most decorated squadron in the entire war. And of course, they became the escort squadron of choice. All the bomber pilots wanted the Tuskegee Airmen to escort their bombers. It was safer. It was all because of Eleanor Roosevelt, bless her heart. So I was telling you about her autobiography. You read her autobiography, and this thing pops out at you. Read that right there. That's her secret. That's how she does it. See the kicker phrase right here? This is the one I think about right there. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. That's it. See, for example, every day you begin with a to-do list, don't you? Maybe you've got it in your mobile device, maybe you write it out. You got a list of stuff you want to do, right? I bet you there's some stuff on that list that's so obnoxious you never do it. As a matter of fact, you probably move it from day to day to day, right? Here's what I want you to do. Tomorrow morning, I want you to begin your day, look at your list, and I want you to find the thing on your list that you don't want to go near. Maybe it's something you got to study for, maybe it's something you got to say. It's going to be really awful. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to do it first. Before you do anything else, do the thing you think you cannot do that you don't want to do. And I promise you two things are going to happen. Number one, and this is like with all due respect to you and how your life is, after you've done it, you're going to discover it's not as hard as you thought. It was like psychological. And here's the second thing. After you've done that thing that you didn't want to do, like everything else on your list is like nothing. You've got lift. It's like wings. And that's why you want to do the thing you think you can't do. And the kicker is, it'll probably be something to do with communication. It'll be something you don't want to write, something you don't want to say, something you don't want to ask for. You got to do it first. Tonight, when you're in the room, look for people that, oh, I don't want to meet them. Go meet them first. And you'll discover, wow, the reason I didn't want to meet them is there's a tremendous vibe there. Find the folks you don't think you can meet. Meet them early. Meet them first. If you will do that thing you think you cannot do, all things are possible. It's just communication. And you guys are superb at it. Now go upstairs, meet each other, reciprocate, and make a whole new world of friends just for you. Thank you. All right. All right, well done. Thank you.